Is there anything more rewarding than coaching a comeback victory in youth sports? Congratulations to my first and second grade baseball team on a big rally last night from down 8-1 to win 11-9 and clinch a spot in this weekend's league championship. This is Joe Lemire with your morning Buzzcast for Tuesday, June 17th. The Oklahoma City Thunder prevailed in NBA Finals Game 5 last night to take a 3-2 lead over the Indiana Pacers, putting them one win away from clinching. The NHL's Florida Panthers also hold a 3-2 lead over the Edmonton Oilers and could win Lord Stanley's Cup for the second straight year tonight at home. That game is on TNT. Both have been entertaining series, but probably need that Game 7 to jolt the U.S. TV ratings. Speaking of television viewing, this probably won't rank with the invention of the printing press or radio in the annals of human history, but May 2025 represented a significant milestone in mass media. It was the first time in which the streaming audience eclipsed the combined share of broadcast and cable TV. As much newspaper ink and digital media bytes have been devoted to chronicling cord cutters, cord nevers, and the dramatic shift of live sports consumption, cable and broadcast still remained the larger share of the audience until last month. Granted, the margin of Nielsen's report was fairly small, 44.8% for streaming versus 44.1% for broadcast and cable, but it's still a pivotal inflection point. Austin Karp has this and more on sportsbusinessjournal.com right now. Among the streamers are 6 services with audiences above a percentage point of TV share. Netflix and YouTube certainly lead the way. Disney's trio of platforms, ESPN+, Hulu, and Disney+, accounted for 5% of all TV viewing last month, with the ESPN direct-to-consumer platform likely to boost that when it arrives in a few months. And then there are 3 FAST services that also reached that reportable threshold: Pluto TV, Roku, and Tubi, whose collective 5.7% viewing audience was larger than any single broadcast TV network last month. As has been shared here and other news sources, the Club World Cup hasn't garnered quite the mainstream attention FIFA hoped it might, and weekday afternoon start times are doing the tournament no favors. One of the marquee group stage matches was yesterday's Chelsea-LAFC contest, taking place in Atlanta, a city with a strong soccer fan base in support of its MLS club Atlanta United. Yet the kickoff was 3 p.m. Eastern. While that would certainly help the Chelsea fans over in England wanting to watch in prime time, it certainly didn't help Americans on the ground in Atlanta attend the match. Only 22,137 were in attendance for Chelsea's 2-0 victory, less than a third of the capacity for Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which holds about 71,000. Monday evening's Boca Juniors Benfica match, which started at 7 p.m., had roughly 56,000 in Miami's Hard Rock Stadium. That's certainly a much better number. The Athletic shared an interesting story about Club World Cup planning, citing multiple anonymous sources indicating that there was a disconnect within FIFA about the logistics and planning of this tournament. The staff on the ground in Miami reportedly thought that MLS venues, which are often more in that 20,000 seat range, would be better venues than NFL stadiums, typically in the 60,000 or greater range, at least for the group stage matches involving clubs with limited profiles. But playing in larger stadiums was apparently the preference of the FIFA headquarters European staff that wanted this to be a grand spectacle and expected ticket sales to really drive revenue. In the end, 8 of the 12 stadiums have a capacity of at least 65,000 for this Club World Cup, while only 4 are MLS-dedicated venues. Ticket prices for some matches have been reduced more than once, too, with the demand for fans not quite meeting up with the supply of tickets. One benefit, and this is a small one perhaps, of keeping to these larger venues, however, is that it turns the Club World Cup into a, quote, perfect test case for many of the technologies FIFA wants to trial at the Men's World Cup next year. Because they're playing in the same venues with the same 5G networks, everything is more of an apples-to-apples comparison. I had the opportunity to speak with FIFA Director of Innovation Johannes Holzmuller for a story on SBJ.com, and he shared some details about what is being tested with an eye toward implementation next year. Among the innovations, an advanced version of the semi-automated offsides technology that debuted at the 2022 World Cup. There's a referee point-of-view camera, more transparency over VAR decisions, a tablet with software to streamline the substitution process, and more automatic event data collection. The two that will likely receive the most attention will be the Ref Cam, which at least for now will only show recorded clips that have been vetted to avoid controversy, but still could provide a unique on-field perspective of key plays, as well as the offsides tech. In short, the semi-automated offsides tech is now going to be mostly automated. Only plays when the player is within 10 centimeters of being on or off sides will require manual oversight. Everything else will be automated. That's due to further development of artificial intelligence algorithms that FIFA has done in collaboration with Hawkeye as part of their joint venture announced last year, the Football Technology Center. It has been previously tested at FIFA U17 and U20 tournaments, as well as the FIFA Intercontinental Cup. It will now get its debut on the big stage. It should save quite a bit of time in making these calls. With the reportedly imminent departure of NFL Chief Media and Business Officer Brian Rolapp to become CEO of the PGA Tour, our Ben Fisher wrote that Commissioner Roger Goodell will not replace him with a single hire and instead divide his responsibilities among several executives. Hans Schroeder is expected to step up and lead the critical media business of the league. Chief Revenue Officer Rennie Anderson has led sponsorship and consumer products and reported into Rolapp, but now will likely have a direct line to Goodell. Some more needs to be worked out, but those are some of the major headlines. Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani, who won last year's National League MVP award exclusively as a designated hitter, took the mound last night for the first time since his second Tommy John elbow surgery 21 months ago. It was his first pitching appearance since joining the Dodgers before last season, and it was an awfully hot ticket on the secondary market. Pricing surged on the backs of the announcement. TickPick reported that valuations surged 174% at one point. The get-in-the-door price for Dodger Stadium was $160 at one point on StubHub, triple what it was on Friday. At least that was the case on Monday afternoon, though it cooled by the time I looked an hour before first pitch. SeatGeek and other sites by then were showing prices in the $60 and $70 range, still pretty steep for a weeknight baseball game. It was also Blake Snell bobblehead day, for what it's worth. Ohtani allowed one run in his inning of work, but what garnered the most attention? He did throw a pitch in excess of 100 miles per hour. Monumental Sports and Entertainment has invested in sports media platform The Nine, whose coverage focus is women's sports, especially soccer, tennis, basketball, golf, hockey, and gymnastics. Of particular interest to Monumental is The Next, its basketball vertical, given Monumental's ownership of the Washington Mystics in the WNBA. Ted and Zach Leonsis were quoted as saying they want to help The Nine grow and professionalize its operations. Also on SBJ's website right now, and arriving in your mailboxes this week, is our annual package celebrating our 40 under 40. I want to make particular note celebrating Andrew Hawkins, whom I had a chance to profile. I've known Hawk for a number of years and was still learning more and more about what he's done across the entire sports business industry while working on the piece. But be sure to check out his and all 39 others as soon as you can. We'll end with this. Competitive eating legend Joey Chestnut is returning to Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest this summer. A 16-time champion of the annual 4th of July spectacle on Coney Island, Chestnut sat out last year due to a sponsorship dispute. In a social media post, he wrote that the contest is, quote, a cherished tradition, a celebration of American culture, and a huge part of my life. He holds the world record by eating 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. That's 7.6 per minute, or slightly faster than one every 8 seconds. I have a stomachache just thinking about it. I'll let you all chew on this while I bid adieu. I hope you enjoyed this top of the morning podcast. I'm Joe Lemire signing off for the SBJ Morning Buzzcast. Have a great Tuesday.